Seminole basketball fans, what's up? Tuck Talk. You're listening to the Florida State basketball podcast, men's and women's, and this is a special edition episode where, COVID is kind of just doing crazy things to the basketball world, the sports world altogether, and men's and women's have already lost a couple of games. The men have lost one. The women have lost multiple, just trying to reschedule, and we all knew that could be a possibility, but we wanted to continue to put out episodes. We know you guys love Tuck Talk, and we actually had a really cool thing that happened. I was able to catch up with one of the guys that I covered at Florida State back in 2015. He probably embodies the Leonard Hamilton new bloods, that culture fit, better than maybe anyone Florida State has had. Terance Mann, who plays for the Los Angeles Clippers of the NBA, was kind enough to join me. He was stuck in some LA traffic and wanted to talk some Florida State basketball. So we got him on here. We'd been working on it, and really cool interview to just kind of go through everything from just playing with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to adjusting to the NBA, having Fiondu Kabengele with him, having a brother that could just go across the country and experience this new challenge together and a new opportunity. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about, some off-court things, food, dress, things that, NBA players are well known for, and T-Man really went through it all here, and he loves Florida State so much. He loves Florida State basketball with all his heart, and he's a great representation of not only the program for Leonard Hamilton, but the university as a whole. So here's about 15 to 20 minutes. Enjoy it. Terance Mann, Florida State basketball alumni, now LA Clippers point guard.
48th pick of the 2019 NBA draft to the LA Clippers, and played for Florida State 2015 to 2019, went to 3 NCAA tournaments and 1,300 career points. You know him well, the guy, the legend, T-Man. Terance, man, appreciate you joining me.
Man, no problem, man. I'm excited to be on here, just be able to talk Florida State basketball. Nothing better than that, huh?
Nothing better than that at all, my friend. All right, so let me ask you this. Before we get into Florida State, I wanted to just kind of get, the bubble just ended, and you had a chance. You were competing for an NBA title. What's it like to be in a bubble? Mm-hmm. For those who were not in there, what was it like to have to bring your own energy every night?
It's a different type of feeling. It's not people over you yelling, crowd yelling, smell of popcorn. The excitement you get when you smell that popcorn, you see your family in the crowd, you see people yelling and stuff like that. It's a whole different type of energy that you have to try and build up and bring, to the court. But if you have that drive, you can do it. And then, you love the game, you want to win. It's pretty easy. Once you get out there and start going, you don't really realize that there's no fans. The NBA also did a really good job with putting, fan noises in there. They had the family section in the stands. So, we didn't feel totally alone out there.
No, probably. No, definitely, man. It was fun to watch you guys play this year. And we were also thankful as fans just to be able to watch you guys play basketball and give us a sense of normalcy yet again. So you had a chance to kind of play a lot more point guard this year. You're getting your opportunity to have the ball in your hands and be on the ball. How has that transition been for you? I know it's been something you've been working on ever since you were really at Florida State, but now it seems like you're coming into your own as a ball handler.
Yeah, the transition was, I wouldn't say it was rough. And I wouldn't say it was easy. I would say it's right in the middle. I had to learn a lot. Being in a new position at the highest level that I can be at is definitely difficult. But I had a great coaching staff. I had great play development who helped me and guided me through the whole process. I had vets who taught me things, and it was an awesome year just to be able to be, a point guard in the NBA, what I dreamed about doing ever since I was little.
Let's flip the switch a little bit, T, to Florida State. You played from 2015 to 2019. Man, every year you guys got better. It was a little bit, you climbed the rope just a little bit more every single year. How much pride do you take in what you were able to do at Florida State?
A ton of it. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into, my 4 years there. Not only for myself, but for my brothers that I play with. And that's kind of how we carried ourselves. That's kind of the mindset we had. And just to be able to look back, think back, and, see all the accomplishments that we did. Sometimes people tweet on Twitter, this class did this or these guys did this in the past few years or whatever our home record is right now. It's just been amazing to just see people recognizing, all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that we put in to try and get there.
You remember the year after you guys missed the tournament in 2016? You guys, I think, went 5-1 against the top 25. It was like you got that 3 seed. J.I. was balling, you were balling, all your boys were really playing well. How much do you feel like that year really kind of started to set the tone for what Florida State would eventually become?
That year definitely set the tone. Set the tone on and off the court for us. On the court, we were able to realize that, hey, we can play with the big dogs. We can put our name up there with the big dogs. We felt like we were better than them, and then we just went out there and showed it. And then I think a big thing was getting that 3 seed, beating Duke at home. There were so many things that year, going 18-0 at home. There's so many things that year that just made us realize who we are and what we're capable of. And, we just took it from there and ran with it.
You did run with it. I mean, you remember the next year, right? You beat Xavier. Now that you've had a few years to just kind of, you've been separated from that moment. What was it like? Like, do you still think about that moment and just kind of smile? I mean, what was it like being in that moment to then not only beat Xavier, but then beat Gonzaga too?
Just relief, just like a relieving feeling of, can we get past that second round? Just making the tournament to the first 2 rounds is not good enough. All those things that you see people say, you hear people say, and then to be able to do that, beat Xavier after they knocked us out the year before, that revenge feeling is like no other. And then a big time program like Gonzaga, that next round was just awesome to go to the Elite Eight. And then to be able to compete with Michigan in the Elite Eight, it just opened up our eyes to see where our program was going, and it opened up the world's eyes just to see him is doing with this program.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. I know you're a huge FSU fan still. You try to keep up with the program as best as you can. As you were playing and you were busy, I know this year with the Clippers, you're watching this past season for Florida State. How much satisfaction did you take seeing them take like another step even from what you were able to do?
Oh, I mean, it's just awesome to see those guys. People say, "Oh, you lost such and such to the NBA. All these seniors are gone. I don't know how good they'll be." Yada yada yada, and they just basically did what they were taught to do, and that's to fight and to be themselves. And they did what they had to do and won the ACC regular season, and probably would have won the tournament if it had played through. But just to be able to see them, do what they did was an awesome feeling, especially for me and Fiondu. We walk into the facility with a smile on our face, every weekend, and everybody's like, "What's going on? Why y'all smiling? We just lost or something." Like, man, these guys are just hooping in Tallahassee. Like, these guys are just doing what we taught them to do, and they're just. It was just amazing to see. I can't even explain the feeling. I can't explain it. And then to see them hold up that trophy was like, I almost felt like I was a part of it. I felt like I was there, a part of it. It was a great feeling, man. It was a great feeling.
Are you and Fee making sure you let everybody know in that locker room that Florida State runs the ACC?
Of course. We talk about it almost every week, talking about, Florida State is at the top of the ACC. We want smoke with everybody. That's how we're talking right now.
What do you think when you look at this draft? I know you and Fee got drafted last year, and then this year Florida State took it to another level. You got to see Devin Vassell go to work every single day. You knew about Pat Williams as he was, deciding to become a Seminole in his recruiting process. You were next to Trent Forrest, pretty much your whole career.
Right.
When you see 2 lotto picks, what does that say about where Florida State is now?
It just shows you, it shows you the hard work that we put in, the development process that's going on down there as coaches, what they're doing. We're producing great young men off the court. So it's just amazing to see, like I said, what they were able to do when we left and how they took it and ran with it, and to be able to see what Devin has done to his future. How he set up his life with all the hard work that he's did at Florida State is great to see. And then Pat, I hosted Pat on his visit, and I knew right away. I was like, Coach CY would tell me all the time, this guy Pat, he's going to be a lottery pick. He's top 10. He's top 10. He's top 10. And then I seen him on my visit, and believe it or not, most guys on the visit, they want to chill and hang out with the team. Pat's like, yo, let's go work out.
Wow.
Like, I want to go. I want you to go put me through a workout. So I was like, okay, like I like this guy. He's gonna have a bright future. So me and Pat are in the gym, and he's shooting, moving. I'm like, wow, this guy is really, the next big thing. And lo and behold, he's the fourth pick. So it's crazy to see how it came around. But we all knew it was gonna happen. It's gonna continue to happen just because of the coaching staff that they have, the guys that they bring in, and the great job that they do as coaches down there.
So let me ask you this, a fun question, and you might be a little biased. Who wins a head-to-head? Who wins the head-to-head game between the 18-19 roster and the 19-20 roster?
Oh, definitely our roster, 18-19. Way too big, way too strong, way too physical. But, I'm sure they'll have other things to do. But I definitely think, 18-19 for sure.
Coach Jones had an answer too, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to listen to the episode of the podcast to hear what Coach Jones asked him the same exact question. But all right, so let's flip the switch a little bit more, and let's talk about Coach Ham and that staff, and why you ultimately chose Florida State. What makes Ham, Coach Jones, CY, Dennis, and that entire staff that was there when you were there, what makes them special? And what is it about that chemistry and culture around the program that maybe people who aren't inside of it don't understand?
I think just how family oriented they make the program. You feel like you're going from home to home, not home to college. I think that's a big thing for them down there, and it works. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's worried about each other. Everybody cares for each other, and that's the biggest thing that helped us on the court, was just to be able to come together as one. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's very true. There's a lot of truth to it. You can see it all the way down to the green team. When they're standing cheering, then they go in and they score, and how the bench is standing cheering. Not a lot of schools had that type of camaraderie on the team. So I just say their ability to make it, from home to home.
What's it been like for you to have? You mentioned Fee earlier. What's it been like for you, man, to have Fee there, take this step, this whole step with you? I mean, you guys get to move out a completely different part of your lives, but you get to do it together with an NBA
Right.
team.
I mean, we're extremely lucky. I'd say that's first, with the grace of God also, but we are extremely lucky to be able to go through this process together, because a lot of people don't have familiarity when they're going to that next level, and they can get lost. So, just to be able to be with each other, we live right down the street with each other. We're with each other every day. We go to the gym together. We're living basically like we're back at college. So, just to be able to have that, not a lot of rookies had that. I would just say it's just a lucky feeling.
And then the last NBA question I want to ask you, I'm very curious because, T, not a lot of people get a chance to see Kawhi and PG go to work every day. I mean, what's that like for you as a young guy in the NBA to see two of the best just go through their process and their routines every morning and every afternoon, every evening?
It's definitely eye-opening, It's definitely eye-opening, especially coming from college where you're the man, you're the guy on the team, you're the captain, yada, yada, yada. You have your work ethic that you try to show the younger guys that they should, take and evolve into their game. But to be able to go to the next level and then see these guys and then realize in reality, these guys are working extra hard. These guys are putting in, numbers of shots that you wouldn't even imagine, every day, day in, day out. And they kind of show you, without telling you what it takes to be great. And it's just a matter of who wants to follow that. And, the blueprint is right there. You just got to work. And these guys work every day, day in, day out. So, to be able to come from, Florida State and then to the NBA and then be on the team with those guys was just a surreal feeling.
Man, that's amazing. And I'm sure you're soaking up all the information that you can from two of the best. All right, so to wrap this one up completely and to kind of leave it off, let's have some fun here. I know you like to cook. We've heard you're quite the chef. So let me ask you this. What's the best meal you cook? Say you have a lady friend or a friend over. What's the meal to impress?
Definitely a stewed chicken. Definitely the Caribbean's famous stewed chicken. It's a great dish. It's not too spicy. It's kind of on the sweeter side. It goes well with rice. Lots of gravy on it. It's a great dish, and I cook it all the time at home. I probably make that once a week. But you can see more on my show if you go ahead to the Clippers YouTube and you search Man versus Food.
Get that plug in.
You get a lot of tips on how to cook different Caribbean dishes.
You're becoming a pro, man. You're learning how to plug your stuff. I love it, man. Look at you, all-around guy.
I try. I learned from the best, and that's Florida State. They taught me so well. They prepared me for this, definitely.
You're not only chef, man, but you got some drip. You come into the arena and you know how to dress. You got some swag on you. So for those listening, what goes into being a drip king? What goes into being a well-dressed? Just being professional. Going to the game, looking professional, looking like you're ready to play, like you're excited about the game. That's what it does for me. Being able to go to the gym and dress well, makes me feel excited to play, look good, play good. Allen Iverson said it best. So, that's just really where it came from. Just wanting to, look professional, look good, be excited to play. No doubt, man. Look good, play good, pay good, right?
Right, exactly. You got the whole process down.
No doubt about that. Are the Florida State shorts that you had custom made, is that the dopest pair of pants and shorts that you have?
Most definitely. And I went ahead and framed those because I'm never going to wear those again. I had to cut up a few jerseys that I had to make those, and it set a big mark. It was real trendy. A lot of the Florida State fans loved it. And it was cool to just be able to wear those, rock those, and represent my college.
Man, it's awesome, and it's awesome to hear from you as always. And we are all so proud of you and what you've been able to accomplish in your first year in the NBA. Man, you're a class act. You're easy to root for, and best of luck, man, going forward. T-Man Terance joining us here on Tuck Talk.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for the support. Also,
you can't really have the new bloods and where Florida State is as a basketball program without mentioning some of the former players. And Terance Mann, like I said, he embodies everything that Florida State basketball has stood for years under Leonard Hamilton, and he really is the epitome of this change of culture of where Florida State has gone over the last few years, and he was awesome. I have to add that chicken stew to my bag of tricks. Really good advice there from T, and we hope to have more of these to be able to talk to some of the old players and guys who have laid the foundation for Florida State to really take off as that launching pad as a basketball program. And so if you love this interview, please give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and please leave us a review if you could. Share this with your friends, and fingers crossed, we'll play some basketball here soon. I miss the sport. Let's get back to it. Tough talk.